the viral TikTok closet systems that everybody been talking about. So I'm in our bedroom closet right now, and on this side I have some of my stuff, my hats up here, glasses and shades, jewelry box, and then on this side my wife has some of her purses and stuff, fragrances, jewelry, and some more purses down there, and then she got some clothes over on this side as well. All right, so the tools that you need to make all this work. First thing first, you need to go to Target and get these bookcases right here. 5-shelf bookcase, room essentials. It looks like this. I think they're like $37 a box. The second thing you need to go and do, you need to go to Home Depot and pick up these Everbuilt adjustable closet rods, 18 to 30 inch. One other thing you need is a separate pack of screws. The screws to put the bars up. These are the screws that you need right here. Everbuilt flathead Phillips wood screws, number 6, 1/2 inch. Most important thing is that they are 1/2 inch screws. Since we're going to be painting these rods black, I picked up a Tarte from the store. Some type of primer would be good. I would suggest probably using automotive primer, because that's what I use on the other one, but I think this one was cheaper, so I decided to get this. And on the other ones I used Krylon matte black paint. This time I'm gonna try out the Project Source, which is Lowe's brand. When you're putting these together, I definitely would tell you to use the instructions if you've never put these together before. You also want to map out what part is what, because they don't put any stickers on these to tell you which panel is which or any of that stuff, and they kind of all look the same. So I'm gonna take you through it. You have panel A and B. These are panels A and B right here. If you look at the bottom, they don't have a big hole at the bottom. I'm gonna show you panel C and D so you know the difference. You see 4 holes at the top, holes going down the side, no big holes on the bottom. Now here are C and D. 4 holes at the top, got the holes going down the sides, 2 big holes at the bottom. These flat panels that you nail to the back, these are E and F right here. 3-fold panels. For G, you don't have anything on G on the white edges. All you have on G, and there's 2 of these, they're exactly the same. The only thing is they have a seam right here, but like I said, other than that, nothing on G. Now there's some holes on the wooded side, if you want to call it that, but nothing on the actual panels themselves. For the shelves, which are H, and you have 3 shelves, they have these notches on them. Last but not least, you have the panel L, which has these holes on the corners. Now if you remember, I said you have 2 of G. G don't have nothing on it. You hear me? So those are all of our panels. Step 1, you need to grab both of your G panels, and you need to grab C and D. G panels ain't got nothing on them. Here go your G panels. C and D got the holes at the top, holes on the side, the big holes on the bottom. You want to locate the bag of goodies that they gave you, and you want to grab 12 of the wooden dowels. 12 of these right here. On your G panel, find that inner hole. The 2 inner holes, you're gonna put the dowels in using a hammer. You're gonna do the same thing on this side too, on the inner holes. Same thing with your second G board. Next, you're gonna grab C and D, flip it to the side that has the big holes. Same thing, find the inner holes. See those inner holes? You got 1 and 2. Put those dowels in there. Doing the same thing on the other one. For step number 2, you want to grab 4 of the little screws that are in here. Need 4 of these. 4 of them. You're gonna put them inside the C and D holes here, but make sure that when you put them in, this U shape right here, see the U? Here's the front, here's the back. See how it's kind of like a little U? You want that to be facing out, so up towards the outer side of this here, just like so. You can push it in. I normally tap mine in a little bit with a hammer. All right, we got the screws in C and D. For the next step, you need one of your G boards, the ones that ain't got nothing on it. and C and D. And then you also need to go in your big bag and get 4 screws. This is how the screw should look. Now let me tell you, for this project, if you are using a drill, your drill should have settings on it if you have a decent one. You don't want your setting on the drill, okay? You want to turn that junk down. Turn that junk down to about 2 or 3. You don't need a lot. IKEA furniture, I mean not IKEA furniture. This is from Target. Target and IKEA furniture. Okay, this is not the best quality. This is not solid wood. This is compressed wood. So you can't just be turning the drill all the way up unless you want to mess something up. Another thing with step number 3 is easy to not be oriented to what you're doing. So G is gonna go in the middle, right? You got G in the middle. And then you want C and D on the sides. Now notice I have this brown strip right here facing up. You want to do the same thing for C and D. And where you put those screws in, these right here, you want them facing away from you. So you see the screws? They are away from me. Just like that. See the screws down there? They're away from me. You're gonna take your screw and they got these holes on the side right here. What I like to do is I go ahead and thread them a little bit. And with my drill turned down, go ahead and drill in. But when you drill slow. And that's all you need. If you force this drill in here, it will probably go through that compressed wood and it's gonna mess up your shelf. So either use a screwdriver, but if you use a drill, turn it down and go slow. You want to set this out of the way. Now here I got the second G and I have A and B. See these 4 holes? They facing towards me so I can get to them. Got the brown strip up, tap them in together. Same thing with the other one. Go in your bag, get 4 more of those same screws and screw them in. Now we got A, B, and the second G together. With the A, B, and G, you want to turn it up like this, and you want to grab your L board. Your L board is the one that's like a white panel, but it has these holes in the corners, just like that. Now when you put L on top, you want the one with the 3 holes in each corner facing upward. You don't want the one like this. You want the 3 holes like this facing upward. And you see here, the brown is matching on the back like so. You're gonna grab 4 more of your screws. And these screws are going through the middle hole. I'm gonna take our drill and go to work. Next, you want to find this pack again, and you want to find the screw that looks like this. So it's a screw on this side and then it's long on this side. Should have 4 of those in there. These are going to go in the outer holes. So these holes right here on the outside. These are a little bit tricky to put in, so I just try to get them lined up a little bit and then slowly go in with the drill. It's probably gonna be easier if you don't know how to do this to just use a screwdriver. It doesn't go all the way down. It's supposed to kind of stick out a little bit. So don't be trying to force it down, because it ain't gonna go down. All right, the safe thing to do would be to do this on the floor, but I don't do things safe. I do things my way and how I want to do it. So you're gonna put what is this, C, D, and G on top of this structure here. And like I said, if you don't know which way it go, always look at the side with where you can see the brown strip, because the front is the white side here. The back is the side with the brown strip on it. So just make sure they are lining up right. There are holes that the screws that we just put in that's sticking out go into. If you align them up with the screws that you see here on this one, that's where it's supposed to go. want to make sure you get that down all the way. And you're gonna take your drill and you're gonna fasten these screws. These screws don't go very far. They probably go a quarter to a half turn. All right, now I have the whole shelf on the ground with the back side facing up. We're gonna have to put the back panels on. Now hear me when I say this. If you don't care about messing something up, do it how you want to do it. But if you want it to look good, use this tool to put the nails on the back. If you don't use this and you be like me, let's say, hey, I just want to do it my way, which I know I just said not too long ago, I like to do things my way. Bro, you would mess this up. So man, hey, listen to what I tell you. Make sure you use this. Separate the top from the bottom. This side is the top. The reason I know this side is the bottom is because of how it's aligned. Because you got that ridge there showing me that it's the bottom. The one with this caution symbol on it, you want that to be on the top side. The one with nothing on it, that's on the bottom. Make sure you're paying attention, because if you do this part and the white side is facing up, once you look at the front of the bookshelf, the back side will be facing you. So make sure when you're nailing these on, the brown side is facing towards up. Find this pack of nails. This is the part that I hate. I normally don't even put all the nails in there. I just put as many as I feel like I can get by with. Go just like this. Tap 12 out right there. Remove it. All the way around this whole thing. You have 8 of the small stickers. Those go on the outside of the system. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side. There's 4 more. And then you have 4 of these big stickers. Those are to go on the inside. Right up under here, those are for the 4 big ones. The next step is anchoring it into the wall. Now that might be on a whole another video because we still got to put the bars and all that stuff in here. So I'll show you that later. Now like I said, we're putting clothes in here, but if you were to put shoes or jewelry or another shelf, you need these here. You need these little guys here. You need 4 of them for each shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4. This side facing the back, and it sits right on top of there. All right, first thing first, we're in the south. We're gonna open all these rods. These rods come with the holders already screwed in, so you want to unscrew all those, but you need to put them in the Ziploc bag so you don't lose them. All of these are only going in here temporarily because we're going to have to take them back out to paint them, but we don't want to lose anything. None of what I was saying here made sense to me, so I decided to go ahead and do a voiceover. First thing first, if you want to paint these bars, do your research somewhere else because I am not the guy to tell you how to paint these. I painted them my way and I think they'll work out just fine, but do it your way. Do some research. I sanded the bars down before I primed them, so hopefully it'll take the paint a little bit better. Here I'm showing you some of the hardware, which is the rod holders and the screws. So I'm laying all that out. This screw here is the screw that came out of the rod and the rod holder. If you remember earlier, here's a video of that. So that's that screw. We're gonna paint that because it's gonna be shown. So you're gonna lay that out with everything to be painted. You're also gonna paint the 1/2-inch screws that I told you to get. You wanna paint 2 of these for every 1 rod because these are gonna be showing. These screws here, just set them aside and save them for a future project because you don't need them for this project. They're too long. I don't know what happened to the footage of me priming these bars, so here I am painting them with the terrible Project Source black. Man, I hate this paint. But anyways, you want to do light coats whenever you're priming and painting because you don't want it to start to run or drip. So the best way to do it is light coats. When I tell you it was super hard to get light coats with this paint, it's flaky. There's something about it that just isn't right. So use the Cryoline paint, okay? Cryoline or some other comparable brand. I forgot I had this tool in my toolbox. It's a Rust-Oleum attachment for spraying paint. Man, this could have saved me so much fatigue in my hands and just pain. Man, I was so mad that I forgot I had it, but I would highly recommend you getting this. It'll make painting these bars a whole lot easier for you. I'll link it in our Amazon store, but I mean, it's only probably about 10 to 12 bucks. This is me going back over these bars with the Krylon paint probably about a week after I went over them with the Project Source. And I mean, it's really a night and day difference. On the left is the Project Source. On the right are the ones I went over with the Krylon Fusion. And I 100% like the way that they look. It's good paint in my opinion. Now, long term, I really don't know how the Krylon will hold up, because when you have hangers, they slide back and forth, obviously. So, you know, hopefully it holds up in the long term. I don't know until we get to that point, but I'm really digging the Krylon right now. I need to go ahead and mark where the rods are gonna go. I have been putting the rods about 2 inches from the center of the rod down from the top. Imagine a little circle. This is the rod. 2 inches from the top to that center hole. This is how you do that. Me personally, I ain't no contractor, man. The way I do this, you might be watching this with your daddy or your granddaddy, and your granddaddy say, hey, that man stupid because he doing like this. Alright, granddaddy, for sure. I'm gonna show you how I do it. I'm gonna stretch that boy out like this. I'm gonna push this down on here like this and line this up with these holes. And mine, I'm just gonna mark where it say to it. Ba-dow. They look like that's in line to me. So you see that? That's about 2 inches. You see it? That's where the screw is gonna go to put the closet rod holders up. So once you got your bar fitted to each other, find the hole and make sure the hole is facing towards the bottom on both sides. And then you want to find your rod holders, which are these things here. One is going to be bigger than the other because the rods aren't the same size. That mark that you made up there, that is where you take one of these screws from the pack that I showed you. It doesn't have to be the painted one because it's not going to be seen. And you're going to screw that through that hole there. I know it looks like this. I didn't paint that side really. Like this right here. And this is the screw that's going to go on that dot. I didn't tighten it all the way yet. You can see it's kind of loose. And now you're going to take one of the screws that you painted black. The same exact screw is just black. There's another hole at the top. Right up there. And we're going to do the same thing on this other side. Put our bar up there. Next, you're going to take this short screw. It's rounded at the top. That's how you know the difference between the flat screw and this one. This is the flat screw. You see that hole? This round-headed screw is going to go in that little small hole up there. Just like that. Now, at the bottom, you do the same exact thing. The only difference is the rod holder is angled that way a little bit. So the hole in the middle is the same. When you get ready to put the screw in the top, you want to tilt it that way, because if you remember, we have our screw that's a part of the system right here. So you can't really screw into a screw. So you want to kind of tilt it over a little bit to accommodate for that. Tilt it. Just like that.
Thank you so much.
And her, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to her, man.
Baby, he don't even give you a chance. Let's say God.
This is what the Target bookshelves look like when you modify them to be clothing racks. Now we got clothes on the top and the bottom. These are not secured to the wall, but let me show you why I suggest you secure them to the wall. I can put my hand up here and pull forward, and you can see this whole rack is literally coming down. So make sure you secure these to the wall or they will come down. Now I'll show you the ones in our closet again and how secure they are with the hardware that I showed you. They're secured to the wall up there with that bracket and no tilt. I also have it secured right up in there as well. I don't know if you see that little small screw up there, but this one right here is only secured by those back screws back there. If you can get that in, then it should be fine. It should hold the weight that you put on it. So if you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. We really just be out here vlogging and just doing stuff. with the house that we just got. So we will be building on this closet system further. You can do a lot of stuff with them as far as putting shoes, jewelry, and all that stuff on them. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe. Throw us in the algorithm, man. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we finna go. We'll see y'all in the next video.
Peace.